exactly what he was doing. He was a rabid animal. They begged for their lives, and I killed them anyway.
Sheriff Grady Judd quoting a murder suspect there. Judd says Ryan Riley, a former Marine, showed no mercy, killing a Polk County family. One of the dead, a baby, shot in its mother's arms. Evil in the flesh. That's how Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd described Brian Riley. The sheriff says Riley is responsible for killing 4 people this morning. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay This Weekend. I'm Miranda Parnell. This all happened in Lakeland just before 4:30 a.m. when a Polk County Sheriff's Lieutenant heard automatic gunfire rip through the early morning silence from a neighborhood just 2 miles away. Deputies say Riley also shot an 11-year-old girl, and to Riley, these people were total strangers. Riley has now been captured and arrested. According to Sheriff Judd, 33-year-old Riley was a Marine for 4 years before he was honorably discharged. He spent 3 years in the reserves and did tours in Iraq and Afghanistan as a sharpshooter. Investigators say Riley was a, quote, survivalist who was wearing body armor at the scene. They say his truck had first aid kits inside, and Riley has admitted to taking meth. And we've had crews on this story since the first alert of a SWAT presence in the neighborhood was sent to our newsroom. And our Bo Zimmer is at the Polk County Jail in Bartow, where Brian Riley is being held. Bo, we also learned this morning that Riley had been to the house the night before around 7:30 because he had, quote, been sent by God.
Yeah, it's such a bizarre case, and, no one expected a mass shooting on a Sunday morning in rural Polk County, but that's exactly what they got. And the sheriff says when this call came out, every available deputy and Lakeland police officer rushed to the scene. Sheriff Grady Judd and his detectives working to make sense of a bizarre overnight shooting spree in Lakeland.
We just know we had a madman with a lot of guns that shot and killed innocent people.
Detectives say 33-year-old Brian Riley drove from his home in Brandon to a house in Lakeland, claiming he got a message from God that a woman named Amber was about to commit suicide. When the people who lived there said there was no Amber at the home, Riley eventually took off, only to return hours later armed with multiple guns.
Why there? This is not near his home. He has no relationship that we're aware of to any of them, and we can't answer that at this time.
When deputies arrived, they heard rapid gunfire and screaming coming from the home. Sheriff Judd says Riley opened fire on responding law enforcement, but eventually surrendered peacefully. Deputies entered the home to find a badly wounded 11-year-old girl and 4 other people shot and killed, including 40-year-old Justice Gleason, a 62-year-old grandmother, and a mother holding her young child.
When you see somebody so heartless, so calculated, that they will shoot a mother clinging to her 3-month-old baby and kill the baby and shoot the family dog.
The sheriff says these people were begging for their lives. Why did you shoot them? Riley had nothing to say as he was being transported to the Polk County Jail. Sheriff Judd calling this one of the worst cases he's seen in his law enforcement career.
And I've seen a lot of tragedy and a lot of sadness. And there's things you can't unsee. I will never be able to unsee that mother with that deceased infant in her arms as they both lay there dead. It is a horror of the utmost magnitude.
And that little girl, the sole survivor, had at least 7 gunshot wounds. According to the sheriff, she underwent surgery earlier today at Tampa General and is expected to recover. The sheriff says it is unbelievable that no officers or deputies were killed in this crossfire. Guys?
It is incredible, given what I saw at the scene, that no law enforcement officers were injured or killed, and it just highlights the dangers that our law enforcement officers are put themselves in harm's way every single day, every single night.
You heard there the Polk County State Attorney tonight grateful that none of the officers involved in the shootout were injured. Our team coverage continues with 10 Tampa Bay's Malik Rankin, who looks at the shock this attack is causing in the community.
It's just down this road where 4 people, including a baby, were shot to death. An 11-year-old girl airlifted to the hospital for emergency surgery, also after being shot. The Polk County Sheriff says the crime rate in this area at a 49-year low.
Crime's never been this low. You've never been as safe as you are right now. But when you get a nut job like this, statistical data makes no difference. I mean, this guy was wired up on dope, on meth.
The neighbors in this area tell me this never happens. Many woke up last night to the sounds of gunfire.
This is a horrific incident. Our community and many families are hurting this morning.
The assistant chief for Lakeland Police stepped up as the chief is currently quarantined with COVID-19.
We had several officers that helped the sheriff, deputies that were here.
Sheriff Judd said the suspect took the easy way out when he surrendered unarmed to law enforcement.
But when someone chooses to give up, we take them into custody peacefully. If he'd given us the opportunity, we'd have shot him up a lot. But he didn't, because he was a coward.
The home where this shooting took place is less than a mile from Lake Gibson High School and Lake Gibson Middle School. Now, to give an idea of just how uncommon crime is in this area, when I spoke with neighbors about this news, some were left completely speechless.
And this is still an active investigation with more information expected in the coming days. But Sheriff Judd does say there's another sad element to this case. He mentioned it briefly earlier, saying that the family's dog was also killed in this attack. The dog's name, DOG. Now, there's a connection to the sheriff's department here. In 2006, Polk Canine Officer Matt Williams and his partner, also named DOG, were shot and killed by a man who ran away from a traffic stop. Sheriff Judd says Riley's girlfriend of 4 years says Riley had PTSD and she'd seen him depressed but never violent. Now, these are some of the mental health resources available for current service members and veterans in the Tampa Bay area. There will also be counselors available this week where the little girl who was injured attends school.
What a going? What's up, my people? Hope everything is blessed and y'all keeping safe out there. Thanks for tuning in once again. Please remember to like, share, and hit the notification bell. So, people, I know a lot of you have seen this devastating and sad incident in Lakeland, Florida. You know, those 4 people were shot and killed, including an infant, about 3 months old. You know, if memory serves me right. And also an 11-year-old girl that didn't die. My heart goes out to those family members losing their loved ones in such a gruesome and cruel way. But people, I have to say this. My heart also goes out to this man and his family. Yes, you heard right. I'm talking about the shooter, who was an honorably, let me say it again, he was an honorably discharged member of one of our armed forces. I think it's the Marines or something, like one of those. You know, who had PTSD, as you heard in the video. Now, hear me out, people. The reason for me saying this right now, America needs to look after or take care of their veterans way more than what they are doing right now. These guys need so much treatment and therapy, you know, after coming back from fighting wars and, you know, on and off for so many years. For too long, veterans have been left on their own to deal with their mental health problems by themselves, you know, along with their families. The suicide rate of vets in 2018 was 17.6 per day. 17.6 veterans commit suicide per day. The rate of suicide by veterans is 13.5%. And mind you, they only make up 7.9% of the US population. So just imagine that. You know, what are these guys left to do? You know, it's like they're basically on their own. You know, this is so sad in every aspect of the word. Thinking about that mother clinging to her baby, trying to protect her baby, and you know, sadly she couldn't. But people, mental health is real and needs to be treated the right way. And just think about a person that already has PTSD. and on drugs at the same time. What is he capable of doing? A lot of damage. So maybe in some weird way he started taking drugs to calm him down. Maybe that was his lifeline. And you know what resonates with me right now though? What the sheriff said. He gave up easily. But if he had given them the chance, they would have shot him up a lot. I know it's sad and horrible, to see 4 people shot and killed like that. But I'm sure the sheriff wasn't even thinking about him being a veteran who had PTSD. He was only thinking about the 4 people that got shot and killed, including that little infant baby. And believe me, people, my heart goes out to those families. It's really a sad and terrible thing to happen, to anybody. That poor little infant that didn't even start living any life yet. Didn't even understand, didn't even know his or her mom good enough yet. And to have something like that happen. So, I'm not trying to make excuses, but just to say mental health is real. So there's a little article that I wanted to read something. Don't want to go too long, but let me see, where do I start? Okay, this man's the veteran Brian Riley. He started working at a company by the name of ESS Global Corp, providing executive protection and security. According to his girlfriend of 4 years, whom he lived with in Brandon, Riley had PTSD and was occasionally depressed but never violent. So that just shows, the what he was going through, because he was never violent. So, as I said, maybe the drugs he started taking was his lifeline. She said he worked security at a church in Orlando a week ago and came home saying he could speak directly to God. Judd said that Saturday evening Riley was in North Lakeland and saw a man mowing a lawn. Judd said Riley stopped and told the man that he needed to speak to the man's daughter, Amber, because God warned him she was going to commit suicide. But the man and the woman at the residence told Riley there was no one there by that name. The incident was reported to the sheriff's office and a deputy went to the neighborhood at 7:30 p.m. Saturday, but Riley couldn't be found. Riley's girlfriend later told detectives that Riley returned home that evening and told her God gave him a vision that the man's daughter was going to kill herself. 9 hours later, Judd said a lieutenant about 2 miles away heard 2 volleys of gunfire from the area of the original call. At the same time, 911 calls began coming in, reporting an active shooting. So there you have it, people. You could, right there you could see that he was going through something. He was definitely going through something. So it's only sad that it ended this way. So that's it, people. So you see on the video they put out this this hotline number that you could call if you're a veteran and you have PTSD, going through mental crisis or anything. You could call that number. So I hope everyone will, every veteran, they should have that number to call, but for some reason a lot of them not using it, or the suicide rate wouldn't be so high and all these stuff. So people, that's my little piece that I have to say. So feel free to comment and let me know what you think, if you share my views or you don't. Feel free to comment and let me know what you think. It's good sometimes to have a conversation, let each other know how we feel. If you think I'm wrong or if I'm not wrong, or you know what I'm saying. So feel free to comment, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for tuning in another time for another video. See you in the next one. Peace.